Oh, those mighty pros and cons of Portland, Oregon. I'm going to be brutally honest, living here a few years now and not being from Portland, Oregon. Some of my pros and cons have changed as of recently. So, obviously, for obvious reasons, I'm going to be brutally honest, tell you those pros and cons of living in Portland, Oregon. So, stay tuned. What's up, everybody? This is Jackson Wilkey with the Real Agent Now Group right here in the Portland Metro. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to learn everything about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, play, and those pros and cons of Portland, make sure you tap that subscribe button and you click the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. We honestly get so many phone calls, emails, texts every single day from people moving, relocating here. We absolutely love it. So, thinking about moving anywhere in the Portland, Southwest Washington area, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, weekends, we got your back when moving to the Portland Metro. Okay, so I shot one of these a couple years ago when I first started this, and it went really well. I think it was because I was being honest, and I also talked about the cons. People like talking about how perfect everything is. I'm just going to be straight up with you. So 5 pros, 5 cons, and a couple things right up and down the middle. You decide. And that's really where I want to start too. A lot of this is perception. You know, some people are half glass full, some are half empty. I'm so full. Hey, my beer's filling over. So that's the one thing I need to know is I have a new perspective here. Life's pretty fun and enjoyable, going and doing new things. I think that's what you'll understand if you're moving here is like, hey, you know what? There's a lot to do here, a lot to be thankful for, a lot to have, fun. And people that are born and raised, lived here their whole life, they see it differently. Hey, it's just the way it goes. Beat me up in the comments all you want. I don't care. But let's start with the pros first, everything that's nice, and then we'll end with those cons. And those have changed lately, so you'll want to stay tuned for those. Number 1 on the list, pro, things to do. That comes like, oh, that's easy to say. No, but for real, there's lots to do here. But the one hard thing about that, and I'm coming from a small town up in North Idaho, and it just, you get to a point where you don't really go out and do much anymore because you've already done it. But the thing about Portland, Oregon, too, is there's like almost too much to do. I remember spending some mornings like an hour and a half trying to find like the perfect place to go hike and so it can get almost overwhelming. But just in a general sense, to be able to like go up to Beaverton, take the Max downtown and go watch a Portland Timbers game, or go out and catch the Trailblazers play, or just go hiking at Forest Park, or even just right outside your doorstep, basically any direction you can go find hiking trails. There's pumpkin patches galore, for the fall months. There is just really so many different arcades and cool things to do. And obviously I'm speaking from an adult, but with kids. But for really anybody, one of my favorite things to do that I never thought, because I always thought Portland's weird. I'm down with the vibe now. Like, it's so much fun to just go hit northeast, southeast Portland, especially with my wife, do date nights, just walk up and down Hawthorne, some of these just iconic roads, and go see everything, go into all these vintage shops. The other day we were in one of those, and those like tan beige pots that your grandma had. I don't even know what the heck you call them, but like everybody had them. They were like light brown, tan. They had the white lids, and they wanted a whole set of those for like a couple $100. I couldn't believe it, but yeah, that kind of vintage shopping. There's just a lot to do here. Number 2 on the list is the weather. Now you might think, oh, that would be right down the middle. That would be, not good, could be good. I'm just kind of at the point where it's like, you know what? The weather's easy here. I've just never seen a climate that's so simple. It never snows. If it does, it's like this much. We've been here a couple winters. You get like this much of snow. The kids get so excited. They go outside, get their snow equipment on. By like 10 o'clock, it's like already melted off, but they have the whole day off of school. But usually all winter, I remember being like the crazy family here. Again, I come from the perspective of cold. I came from North Idaho, just south of Canada. So like we had 5 months of brutal snow. And so 50-degree winters, like that was easy. Some obviously 30s, 40s it can dip, but man, there's a lot of days that like even January, February, it'll get up into like mid 50s and sunny. And we wouldn't see that stuff until, May, April, that kind of stuff where I'm from. So it just never really gets too hot, never really gets too cold. And they talk about like the rain. Oh my gosh, it rains so much. It actually rains really frequently, I won't lie, but it's very minimally. It's usually in the morning it drizzles and then it's kind of done. It's not one of these climates to where it just downpours all the time. My sister lives over in Western Washington area. I've been to Seattle a few times. Like, that's rain. It just never stops. Hardcore rain there. Completely different. We only average about 33 inches of rain a year, which is right at the national average. So it's more of a drizzle. But for me, it's just a really nice style where you can enjoy the outside and outdoors and everything to do year round. Number 3 is that food, the wine, and the brewskis. Now, I don't drink wine, but I was actually shocked here to meet so many dudes who actually do drink wine. They love it. There's wineries all over. It's like my wife, her girlfriend's favorite things to do. They go out wine tasting. But it's just, it is a thing. If you've heard about it, you know, people talking about it, seen videos on it, it's for real. You can't really go anywhere. And even in like the suburb living, there are some of the coolest, best restaurants and breweries. And so that's actually something that we love doing. It's just kind of going and trying a new spot every day. Go do a little hike for a little while and then come hit, you know, a new restaurant with the kiddos, new brewery, whatever. Try and find the biggest pretzels. We love the big pretzels. And yeah, it's a real thing here, and you're really going to enjoy it. Number 4 on the list, the proximity. I grew up, again, North Idaho mountains. I never went to the freaking coast. I love being an hour and a half from the coast. We go there constantly. I love you. I mean, you can go out there and you can rent crab pots, throw them out, you know, catch your own crab, fish, whatever, or just go there and hike around. Yes, hike. There's big old sand dunes at Pacific Beach. You can just bomb down those things. It's so fun. But just incredible, beautiful beaches, seeing whales out there. We spend a lot of time at the coast. Then you head out just to the east. You have ski mountains right there. I do a lot of hunting, a lot of fishing within any direction. You know, some of the most iconic fly fishing, steelhead fishing, elk hunting, you know, blacktail hunting. There's just really so many things so close to Portland. You can head down to, you know, U of O games, go down to Salem, head over to Bend, Oregon. Oh my gosh, that place is gorgeous. And we got teams in all these areas too. If you're not stuck on just Portland and anywhere, we've got actual teammates all over. But yeah, the proximity to just get to anywhere is an absolute pro. Number 5 on the list is the nice people. This is something that I didn't have before. I just love entertaining. I love having people over. I love meeting people. That's actually one of the things that you know, I moved here for, was just, I love meeting new people. I just wanted to meet all new people. And that's actually, you know, one of the biggest comments we get from people who move here, especially from other states, are just like, oh my gosh, like, people talk to me. I go into the bar, I go into the restaurant, wherever I go, like, everybody wants to talk to me and say hi. People are just friendly here. So it's nice too, when you move here, you can kind of get plugged into things a little bit quicker because, you know, friendly neighbors and that you're going to be able to talk to people quickly and kind of get the insights. So that's one thing that I love here. So now let's flip it. Let's start talking about those cons. And while you're here, real quick, comment down below what one of those pros would actually be a con for you. I'm interested to hear the difference of opinion. Number 1 con was the freaking riots. That was disgusting. I can't believe it happened. It wasn't as bad, I don't want to sugarcoat anything, as the news portray it. The news is just awful, right? And they only work for clicks. That's all they talk about, that the whole city's burning down. So a lot of the stuff I didn't even know was going on because locally we were, you know, kind of in our own bubble, only 7-8 miles away, but you just don't know what's going on. The news is blowing it up. But one huge con was just, yeah, this group of people that's here. And I don't ever want to talk politics, but the weak politics allowed some of it to happen. And, you know, them going and ruining African-American buildings, like they're writing about it, but then tearing down their, but like, I can't believe it. It's one of the biggest cons. Makes you just like, you know, not proud to live in an area like that allows it to happen. And that was just a major con. Now, obviously we're a year and a half, you know, plus years removed from it. You're not seeing it. It was just a thing, but that's just a big con that kind of left some marks, you know. It's going to take some time to rebound from that. But the one thing, I guess, the pro out of that, the people that love Portland, they stick together and they're working together to like really clean this up. And so that is kind of the proud thing out of it that you see. But yeah, that was a major con. Number 2 is the traffic. This is something that Portland's a big city compared to what I'm used to, but it's small compared to what others. And I know I've talked to so many California people moving here, and this is no traffic to them. But the one thing you don't get about traffic in, let's say, you know, Portland, Oregon, or Seattle, Washington, these are old cities, so they were really developed a long time ago. And the thing that you have to really understand is you have mountains and rivers, lakes, you know, just all over. So the roads are very windy. It's not like you can just expand these things out. And some of it was done so long ago, they're trying to, you know, revamp it. But you can really get caught in some traffic. And you would think in a place that drizzles and rains so much that people would be able to drive in it. Don't get me started on it. It's the worst. Like, I'm used to driving in like 5 feet of snow, no problem. People still going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. You get here and it starts raining. It is chaotic. Like, just pull over. It's unbelievable to me how bad drivers get when the rain hits here. But yeah, the traffic here, you're gonna see it in certain areas. And a lot of times it's not the freeways I'm talking about. It's like all these side streets and roads. They just get backed up so badly. So the number 3 con, and you have to look at this in different ways, but the home prices, they're just skyrocketing, right? And so we actually just listened to the Economic Summit, Pat Stone. He's just very well known for economic forecasts, and you can comment down below what you think if we're in a housing bubble, crash, whatever. It's not looking that way. There's a lot of good years left that, most investors, and if you look at a lot of the top investors in the world, the country, that's what they're doing is buying real estate up right now. But the home prices in Portland, they're really starting to skyrocket. And it's not just because, everywhere is. No, we have urban growth boundaries here. So that really, really hinders our growth. We're not able to just expand out and build anywhere in the Portland metro. It is an actual border that is voted on, and you cannot build outside of that border. So every 10 years it changes. But yeah, that's one of the reasons is just because we can't just mass build around the Portland metro. So the prices are going up. But we've had clients who moved here, a year ago, and because of job relocation or, hey, we kind of found the other neighborhood over here we like, they're selling and having incredible amounts of equity. So with interest rates at historically low, still 3+%, there's really no better time to buy. If you're nervous about what the housing market, is doing, it's been doing this for 10 plus years and going up. So again, beat us up in the comments all you want. But the one thing we know is that there's a lot of strong years left, and the prices are going to continue going up. The predictions show here. Number 4 con, if you're coming with those kiddos, the families, the daycare is here, man. And I'm not saying they're bad. That's not even what I'm talking about. They're packed. You can't get into them. It's like year-long waiting list. That's the one thing. Good thing the pro is that people are friendly and nice. We came here, we didn't even know where to go to get into daycare, and they were all backed up, and they had month-long or 3, 4, 5, 6 month-long waiting lists. But once you kind of get your child into something, meet the local neighbors, some coworkers, whatever, that's when you start finding all the small ones. We found 2 different ones that our kids went to where both of ours were a lady in this case who, obviously licensed everything, and they run their programs out of their house, and it's a lot more affordable. So other than that, the daycare here is expensive as HE double hockey stick. Number 5, you wouldn't believe this, but there's no lakes. That actually drives me crazy with how green and how much water there is in Portland. All there is Lake Oswego, and that's private, so it's not like you can just go hit the beaches there. So the only real swimming holes, because we love doing that, as families, is down there at Lake Oswego, Roy Rogers Park, and there's obviously some more. I'm not just saying that's the one, but closely, what we like to go to is that one, and it's a crazy cool beach, big sandy, but it gets packed. But not having like just all those swimming holes, swimming lakes, fishing lakes, and all that right next to me, kind of bummed me out a little bit. Hey, kind of, you take one with the other here. But those are my 5 pros and cons. Now, right down the middle, these are 2 things that you could really go either way. One is the weed, right? It's legal here. It's not. I thought I remember coming from Idaho and obviously growing up, in the late 90s, early 2000s, like high school era, and like, man, weed. If your buddy had that in the car or something, your head swiveling. So it's weird to me to like legally, hey, you can have marijuana in the car. It's crazy, but it's also a thing that like you don't see it all over. It's not like it's just everybody's puffing tough and just doing it everywhere. I was actually shocked to see how many like professionals do it to just kind of unwind. But yeah, there's weed shop. Basically any taco shop, you find a weed shop next to it, and that's a good or a negative. If you like marijuana, you don't have to like go do it illegally. You just go down and find it. But if you can't stand it, just know that there's a lot of marijuana shops here. And 2, pumping your own gas. You can't do it here. That is the weirdest thing to me. And actually for me, I like pumping my gas because I can pull up, I can get it done and get out. Sometimes you got to wait forever to get your gas pump. My wife, oh my gosh, she loves it. She thinks it's the best thing since, well, sliced bread. No, she don't care about best thing since Lululemon. Like, she loves not having to get out of her car because she will run that car down to like the last quarter of a mile I don't even know how she makes it to the gas station half the time, but she loves how she doesn't have to get out and pump it. So that could go either way. I know in our family it goes one way or the other, but those are the 5 pros and cons. We help people. We've helped over 150 clients, families, people move here to Portland since the early 2020, and we absolutely love it. The only way that we can help you is you got to reach out. You got to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, weekends, we got your back when moving to the Portland Metro. And until the next video, guys, we'll catch you later.